I am back with another 3-pound book lot of world coins that I paid $20 for. I was originally going to turn this into a 6-pound video, but this first bag that I've already been through in my last video was so good that it took 30 minutes just to get through this one bag, and so I thought I need to split this up so the video doesn't take an hour. But hopefully that means that there's enough left in this in this bag that makes this a worthwhile video also, that we don't run out of stuff in 10 minutes. So let's crack it open and dig through and find the good stuff. What we're going to do in this video is not focus on the common things like British pennies or German pfennigs, but we're going to look for the stuff you don't see as often. Now, when I saw this dealer, I also got a couple of 5-pound bags from this guy. I probably have already posted those videos. This is the last video of these bulk coins that I got on this specific day. He only had a couple of 5-pound bags, but he had a whole bunch of these 3-pound bags and 2-pound bags and 1-pound bag. And the larger the bag, the better the value you get. But I was able to pick and choose and try to find the ones that seem to have the best stuff in it, since he had a lot to choose from. I'll start with this coin right here from France. Now that I look at it, this one is fairly well worn, but these can have a pretty good book value, especially when you look up the B mint mark. Most of the time the B mint mark makes it more rare. I actually think for the 50 franc that makes it a little bit less rare, but in this condition that one's probably still going to book for a couple of dollars. I like this coin from Chile. It features a Chilean condor on this side. It's an aluminum coin, Santiago mint mark at the top. This is a 10 pesos. And at the time, they actually tried to call the 10 pesos a 1 condor. I don't think that lasted very long, and I didn't see that name added to any other coin. From Panama, Panama, we have a coin where essentially the Panamanian coins used the same size and metal content as American coins, since they're pegged to it. If this was made up to 1964, it would have been silver, but just like America, this is made out of copper nickel. You don't see the 50 pesetas that often from Spain. This coin seems to be a little bit dirty, but from 1957, it's a lot like the 25 pesetas, but a little bit bigger. And the actual date on this one is in the star. It's 1967 on that coin, so you don't see the 50 so often. We had the 50 franc to start the video. This one is the 20 franc. On the 20 franc, I do believe the B makes it rarer, but this one is, I guess, very fine on that one. So it might be worth about $1, not too much. Here is a coin from Argentina. Their Independence Day, I believe, is the 25th of May, 1810. So this was the sesquicentennial of Argentina. I think that's the name for a 150th year anniversary. This is the 1 peso from that year. It's this large aluminum coin right here. We've got the 5 francs. This one's in decent shape for being so old. It's the 5 francs from 1945. The one with the B mint mark on this one is really hard to find. Here's a small coin from Venezuela that you don't see as often, I don't think, although it's a low value one. It's a 25 centimos from 1965. Get a good, pretty decent condition, so you can zoom in on some of the details around the horse and the wheat and the flags on here. And like all their coins, featuring Simon Bolivar. All right, let me dig through here and find some of the neat stuff. Let me go ahead and pull out this coin from Austria. This one is a 10 groschen from 1929, featuring, I believe this is just a generic person, lady wearing a hat with the mountains in the background. There have been a few nice coins that I've skipped over because we've seen them in other recent videos. So I want to show off the coins that I haven't shown off on this channel recently. We've got this one from Zimbabwe from 1988, featuring a rabbit. And this last video we had one from Tanzania that also had a rabbit on it. From Hong Kong, We have this coin with George VI. It is a 10 cents from 1949 and has a security reading around the edge. That security reading lasted until about the 70s or 80s. Here's a low-value coin from the earlier days of India being their own, controlled by themselves. 1962 on the 1 paisa. Diamond for Bombay mint mark on it. From Kenya, they have some fairly large coins. This one featuring the first president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, on this 1 shilling from 1978. Able to get see the shield on here, although it's a little bit well worn. Here's a nice coin, another nice coin from France. This one has decent condition on it. This one was an older design of the 10 francs from 1949. From Thailand. Flip it over. We'll start on this side. This is a 1 baht coin. This comes from 1996. It was a 1-year commemorative where pretty much every denomination they had a commemorative version that looked pretty much like this on both sides. This honored the 50th anniversary of the reign of King Rama IX. So it shows him looking forward on the coin. And with every denomination, that means that there's over 10 denominations of coins that they have in Thailand. So the 1 is probably the easiest to find. Here's a fairly common coin, but it looks like it was in really good shape. So from Mexico, very few scratches on it. It is the old 1 centavo from 1945. Pretty good detail. That's probably going to book for about $1. Let's go to Czechoslovakia, where we have this coin from when it was the Czechoslovakia Republic in 1923. Sadly, this one is fairly well worn, but it is over 100 years old. It is a 1 koruna, and other coins from this time had a very similar look to it. But here's a coin made out of zinc. Again, like the last coin, features a sickle and wheat. This one is the 20 Hilario. I am wrong about the country, but it's still Czechoslovakia. It became Czechoslovakia, but this was when it was Bohemia and Moravia. Bohemia and Morava. So you'd have to look that up in their catalog. This is a pretty tough to find country. I forget the history of why it was separate from Czechoslovakia. It does mention Kechi on here, but there were only 4 coins ever made from Kechi and Moravia, and they look just like the Czechoslovakian coins of that time. From Luxembourg, or as they call themselves, Letzeburg, from 1957. Another farmer, I guess. It's going to be the 1 franc, when the Duchess was Charlotte. We got the large C on that one. From Austria, we have this 2 groschen from 100 years ago. The 1 groschen looked, and the 5, I believe, looked very similar. From the Eastern Caribbean states, this is a collection of islands that are in other countries ruled by the British, featuring Queen Elizabeth II. This one is a 5 cents from 1999. At one point, they got rid of the scalloped edge, and I think it turned into a round or maybe a 5-sided coin. A moment ago, we had the brass 10-cent coin from Hong Kong. Here we have it in probably copper nickel. Calls him King and Emperor of India. Dated 1937. From Israel, here is the modern 5 shekelim, or a 5 new shekelim. Always like getting this coin from Australia. Nice large 50 pence coin from 1976. You can take a look at the kangaroo and emu on here. Zoom in on the shield there. Don't get a good look at that too often. From South Africa, every year nowadays, ever since about 2000, they go through a series of changing the names. There are about a dozen different languages spoken in South Africa, and so they changed the name of which language they use to name the country on here. So it's a series of 12 designs that rotate, and they're only on their second time going through all these, but this is the 1 rand, and on this side, I guess it says Ningizimu, Africa. On this side, it has Afrika Tishipimbe. But this side does not change. And there is one difference on here. On some of these coins, the initials ALS have moved. So that's one thing to look for. From Mexico, this was the largest circulating denomination, I believe. Or at least the largest one that was easy to find before they switched to the new peso. So this one is the 1,000 peso of 1998, featuring Juana de Aspaje. And then that was valid till about 1992 or so. But then on the small end of the spectrum, we've got this 10 centavos coin from 1977, featuring some corn. There are a couple of variations of this coin, based on the number of rows of corn. So sometimes it's kind of hard to see, but it's I don't know which version this is, or I don't offhand remember the version. It might be how there's a half row of corn on the left. That's one thing to watch out for on that. Here is a small denomination Yugoslavian coin I don't see as often. It's a 25 para from 1982. Most of their coins from that time period look about the same. You think of Middle Eastern coins in a tree, you'd think cedars of Lebanon, but this is not Lebanon. It is Tunisia from 1960. Forget the currency here, but it's 1. They also made, I believe, a 2 and a 5 of the same design. From Nicaragua. The Nicaraguan coins always have this design, the radiant Phrygian cap over 5 volcanoes in the side of a triangle. So 1 Cordoba from 2002. We're going to move on to a coin from Denmark. This one can be worth a couple of dollars. We have a 25 ore. During the reign of Christian X, 1924. There can be variations from Danish coins based on the letters which appear, the Mintmaster initials, HCN on this side, GJ on the right. So I always want to double check the catalog on something like that. And I just recently realized that the heart represents the Danish mint mark on their coins. That's why you see the heart on so many Danish coins. Here's a coin from Egypt featuring a mosque. Probably a 10 piastres. Year of 1984 on our calendar and 1404 on their calendar. Here's a coin from Austria, where Austria did not put their name on the coin anywhere, but it features their 2-headed eagle and pretty good details on the shield on the middle. Crown at the very top, ribbon going through the crown. The eagle on the left has a sword, and on the right, in the, I guess the claw there. Not sure what that's supposed to be. I believe this is called a 2 Heller from 1893. That one's in decent condition. One of the more common 1800s coin you'll find, but always good to see that. Oftentimes the coins made out of zinc will turn black, and then they'll turn white as they corrode. This is a 20, I believe that's what vingt is in French, 20 centimes from 1941. This side has a smidgen of zinc luster to it. But there are a couple of, I think there's a variation of this coin based on the thickness of the coin. There's a thin version that kind of snaps apart, sadly, will kind of break apart pretty easily. Going to the country of Jordan, or they call them the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, we have a 50 fils. This coin from 1974. Going from memory, I believe this is King Hussein of Jordan. Here we have a coin from Finland. A lot of their older coins, they don't say Finland, they say Suomi, but they add the Finland on some of these newer coins. Dated 1990. This one is a 10 pennia, featuring some hexagons on the left. We started off with a Chilean condor coin. This one is a 5 centésimos from 1966. Next we have a coin from Colombia. This one's in pretty nice shape, from 1967. This one is a 20 centavos. I guess that's a wreath of flowers going around it. Back to Chile, we had the one condor coin earlier. When they changed to the escudo system, they had the coin same size, similar design, so we've still got the condor on here, but it's no longer made out of aluminum, and they changed it to the 10 centésimos. So one old peso became one new centésimo. So that was the condor coin was the 10 pesos. Now it's a 10 centésimos. Here's an aluminum coin from France from 1943. For a couple of years, they had the star-studded axe design. I believe that's called the Vichy Republic, Vicky. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I guess I ought to know that, but I don't. Moving on to Britain, here is a 1 farthing. If you're not sure what a farthing is, that is 1/4 of a penny. And so for a while they had this, I think that's a canary on the coin with George VI. Then here we have the size of a British penny is also the Australian penny, but that one features a kangaroo on it from 1960. Here's an older design from Portugal that usually is found pretty well worn. There is just a face on this side and no writing. It's going to be a 10 centavos from 1925. And then here is another zinc coin from World War II days. This one is a 1 cent from the Netherlands. In the 80s, Poland had a lot of circulating commemorative coins, especially in their larger denominations. This one is not. This one is just the regular circulating coin of the 20 zloty. So the ones that had people on it were much more interesting. From all the circulating coins from the Bahamas, here's the one that I find the least often. It's going to be the 15 cents, and I can see why a 15-cent coin probably is not going to be too popular. But it's one of those diamond-shaped coins, so you don't see too many like that. From Ireland, here's where they still put some old Irish Gaelic on their coin. So it's our second rabbit of the video in this 3-pence coin. So Ireland was on the pre-decimal system, just like Great Britain. That one's dated 1963. Here's a coin from Thailand. It's good to see this one in a decent condition. They always put the year of Taiwan trying to be independent from China. This is going to say year 44. So I don't know what that translates to, probably in the 1950s. But their coin features a shape of the island of Taiwan. Which side is up? I think this side is up. So I find this coin very often. That one's in better shape than I usually find it. From Israel, here we have a coin featuring a lyre. And I believe that's going to be 25 shekalim. Here's a coin from Bahrain for 50 fils. A couple of different versions of this coin to watch out for. We have a kind of a design of a sailboat on here. It's dated 2000 on our calendar, 1420 on the Arabic calendar. It says the state of Bahrain, but in other years they had the kingdom of Bahrain. At least I think it was kingdom was the other option. We had the 20 centavos from Chile early on. This one is dated 1933. This one's in good shape. So this is the 10s. But they also had the 1 peso one here featuring another condor perched on a rock. I had mentioned earlier on that this other versions of this coin actually had the designer of the coin etched into the base of the rock. Well, there was one on here. Here's the 20 centavos, and this time we have the name on here. I believe that's O.ROTY. So a couple of variations to look out for on those nearly 100-year-old Chilean coins. Here's a coin that I'm not sure I have. This one's going to be from Belize. And I find the 25 and the 5 cents all the time, probably the 10 cents, but I don't know that I've ever found the 50 cents coin from Belize. From 2010. Another coin from Taiwan. It features the very similar design as the aluminum coin, but this one's made out of brass. It is a lot larger. And I think that their system there is called dollars, and so that's definitely the number 5 on the right. So I think this is a $5 coin. Again, not particularly rare, and this side is in worse shape. This is going to be year 43, whereas the last one was 44. Moving to Singapore, we have a 50 cents coin with the flowers on it. Unfortunately, the other side is all got something kind of gross on it. Here's a nice coin from Taiwan. Make that Thailand. An early 1 baht coin of Rama IX, so early on in his reign. It was about the early 50s when he had the design with the 3 medals on his uniform, but it's a 1 baht coin. I know I had this coin, but this one seems to be in much better shape than I usually find it. Here's a coin that I surprisingly very often find in brilliant uncirculated condition. It's the 1 cent coin from Netherland Antilles from 1954. So that's going to be worth a couple of dollars. We have a 50 ore coin here from 1940 from Norway. King Haakon VII. From Egypt, this is similar to a coin we just looked at, except this one is made out of brass, where the old one was copper nickel. It's also about 20 years apart. This one is dated 1992, or on their calendar, it's 1413. Back to Chile. During the Escudo system, here is a 2 centimo, so it was smaller than the 10, made out of brass, and the date of 1965 on that one. But we've got another larger aluminum coin, but this one's made out of aluminum, so it's only the 1 centesimo from 1962, but like all the others at the time, featuring the condor. I have sorted it down to the final few coins here that we're going to take a look at. This is a very common coin, but I wanted to show it off because this one seems to be in better condition for most. For a coin from 1955, and aluminum still has pretty good shine to it. Of course, now that I look at it on the big screen, you can see every single little scratch that's on it that you can't see under the naked eye. And that was the 10 lira. If you haven't seen the new design of the Thailand coins featuring Rama X, who I believe took power in Thailand starting with his coin starting in 2018. This is the design of the 1 baht, but all of the other 2, 5, 10, and the Setang coins all pretty much have the same look as this one. So they're starting to really show up fairly often. Here is a brass coin from Iran, featuring the radiant lion. So usually in Arabic coins, the 5 looks like a circle, but in Iran, it can sometimes show up as an upside-down heart. The date on here is 13, I think that says, maybe that's 1319. I've seen some other years, such as 1322, where there's a very common overdate on this particular coin. This one's in pretty good shape, so I think they have a different calendar than other Arabic countries, so I'm not quite sure that if that is the normal Arabic calendar, that would put it about the late 1930s. From Turkey, here is a modern coin of a 10 kurus from 2015. Amazing how it can get so stained in just a decade. Here is a tiny coin, and this box had a lot of Netherlands 1 cents. There were probably 20 of them. But you don't see too often the 1/2 of a cent, which is, of course, about half of the weight. This is a really tiny coin, dated 1912. And so I'm going to predict that my catalog is going to say this coin in, I'm calling that, since you can see all the details on here, I'm calling this one extra fine. It wouldn't surprise me if this coin has a book value of $5 on it, just because the 1/2 cent are really tough to find. We're going to end up today with a commemorative 2 mark from Germany. They had several commemorative 2 marks that were made every year. They kept adding a few every year, starting in the 50s and going until they switched to the euro. This one would have a foreign exchange value of about $1. But we have here someone who probably, I guess, passed away in 1988. So this one wasn't made too long. And so this was only the 3rd year. So if this coin was made in 1990, this was only the 3rd year that this coin was made, probably. Actually, let me pause and think about it. Now that I remember the story, this is actually the 40th anniversary of whatever this person did. I can't remember his name, but was a political leader who had done something probably dealing with the currency of the post-World War II Germany. And so they were celebrating his accomplishments 40 years after the fact, and they kept on making this coin for a few years after that. So that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Do you think this was worth $20 with all that we got in it? This dealer certainly has some cheaper coins in it. I didn't point this out, but we had another Bohemia Moravia coin in this video. This one looks, this side looks really nice on that side. So definitely worth $20 in my opinion. Even though he picks through here, he leaves a lot of good stuff behind. And so considering this is better than an eBay price, we got everything in this video for 20 bucks. It had everything from my last $20 video still in this box. So this is actually 6 pounds of coins in this box. But yeah, I see this dealer at the Knoxville Coin Show if you're in the Tennessee area. Knoxville has a coin show once a month, and there are 2 dealers who show up that have a lot of foreign coins, so always worth a visit. All right, I will catch you in the next video, and until then, bye.